Good morning everybody. Welcome to the second video lecture on analysis of parallel magnetic circuits. In this, we will be seeing some numericals on parallel magnetic circuits. Please read this question. So, in this question, we are asked to find the magnetizing current that is required to produce a flux of 2 milliweber in the limb CD. That is, this is your limb CD and the flux in this limb is 2 milliweber. It is given that the entire cross section of this core is uniform and it's having an area of 2 cm by 2 cm. The number of turns that is given as 800 and the relative permeability is also given. The dimensions of core that is given in the figure. So, from the figure, it is clear that it is a parallel magnetic circuit because the flux produced in the limb AB that is split into two, phi 1 and phi 2. So, this is a parallel magnetic circuit and we can see that the flux path BE that is parallel to BCDE. So, since this is a parallel magnetic circuit, we are having four basic equations. They are, first one, total flux is sum of fluxes, that is phi equal to phi 1 plus phi 2. Then the second equation, that is MMF of the parallel path will be same. That is MMF phi 1 S1 will be equal to MMF phi 2 S2. Then the total MMF Ni that will be equal to phi S plus phi 1 S1 or it is equal to phi S plus phi 2 S2. So these are the four basic equations that will help you in solving the numericals on parallel magnetic circuits. Now we can write down the given parameters in the standard units. So first of all, number of turns, that is N equal to 800. Then the permeability is given, that is mu r equal to 1200. Then area of cross section of the core. Here we can see that the entire cross section is having the same area, that is 4 into 10 raised to minus 4. Then it is given that flux in limb CD, that is phi 2 is equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 webers. So whenever we get a question, one thing we have to keep in mind is that the flux in the limb where coil is wound, that will always be phi. So always mark the flux in the limb where the coil is wound at phi. So in this question, we can say that the flux in the path BAFE that can be taken as phi. This flux is split into phi 1 and phi 2. So as per the question, the phi 2 is given to be 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 webers. So here the final aim is to find the value of I. So in order to find I, we will be needing N, that is already given in the question. Then phi value is not given. S is we need to find out. Then phi 2 that is given in the question, as well as we need to find out S2. These are different parameters that we need to find in order to get the I value. So here the relative permeability of the material is given and the dimensions of the material is given. So we can find the reluctance in each path. So first of all, the reluctance S1. So reluctance, that is S1, that is the reluctance in the path BE. Reluctance of the path B, that is taken as S1. So S1 is equal to L1 by mu 0 mu r into A. Okay. So here we need to keep one thing in mind, that is L1. L1, that is your length of flux path. Okay. But in the figure, what we are given is the dimensions of the core. And the flux will always pass through the middle section of your core. So here the flux path, that is only from this point to this point. This is the length of L1. But we are given 12 centimeter, that is actually from this end to this end, that is 12 centimeter. But the flux path in BE will be 12 minus this length minus this length. That will be your 12 centimeter. Sorry, that will be your length L1. So from 12 centimeter we need to minus these two small distance. So what will be those distance? For know that it is given that the cross section is 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter. That means this width of the small section, that is 2 centimeter. This is actually your 2 centimeter. And your flux path is to the middle of this width. That means the small distance will be 1 centimeter. Okay. Similarly, the small distance in the bottom portion, that will also be 1 centimeter. So total length L1, that will be equal to 12 centimeter minus 2 centimeter, that is 10 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. So whenever we get a question, we must check whether the dimensions of the core is given or the mean length is given. If the mean length of flux path is given, we can directly use that value. Else, from the dimensions of the core, we have to deduct the value of the flux path. Okay. So substituting, we will be getting S1 as 1.658 into 10 raised to 5 ampere turns per Weber. So similarly, S2 will be equal to L2 by mu 0 mu r into A. Here also L2 means the length of flux path B, C, D, E. Okay, B, C, D, E. So distance from B to C, that is, will be 10 centimeter minus 1 centimeter. That is 9 centimeter plus distance from C to D, that will be 12 centimeter minus upper 1 centimeter, bottom also 1 centimeter, that is your 10 centimeter plus D to E length, that will be total 10 centimeter minus 1 centimeter. So L2 we will be getting it as 28 into 10 raised to minus 2 meters. Substituting, we will be getting the S2 value as 4.64 into 10 raised to 5 ampere turns per Weber. Similarly, we can find the reluctance in path BAFE. So reluctance in path BAFE, that is equal to L by mu 0 mu r into A, where L is the length of flux path in BAFE. That is similar to BCD. So we can write 9 centimeter plus 9 centimeter plus 10 centimeter, a total of 28 into 10 raised to minus 2 meters. Substituting, we will be getting it as 4.64 into 10 raised to 5 ampere turns per Weber. Now substituting in the equation Phi1S1 equal to Phi2S2, because in order to find the magnetizing current we need the total flux Phi, but we only given with Phi2. So we need to find Phi1. For that we are substituting the values of S1, Phi2 and S2 in the above equation. We will be getting Phi1 as 5.6 into 10 raised to minus 3 Weber. Now substituting the value of Phi1 in the total flux equation, we will get the total flux as 7.6 into 10 raised to minus 3 Weber. So we have the total flux value, we have the Phi1 value and all the reluctance value. So we can substitute in the equation Ni equal to Phi S plus Phi1 S1. Here the only unknown parameter is your magnetizing current. So we can we can find magnetizing current I as 5.57 ampere. So in this question only one thing you have to keep in mind, whether the given parameters, given dimensions are the dimensions of the core or the flux path. That is the important point in this question. And once we identified it as a parallel magnetic circuit, first of all write all those 4 equations, then proceed from that equation. Please go through the second problem. So in this question also we need to find out the magnetizing current that is required to produce a flux of 1.3 milliweber in the central limb. And it is given that the central limb as well as the side limbs are having different cross-sectional areas. That is, central limb is having 800 mm square cross-sectional area, whereas the side limbs, they are having a cross-sectional area of 500 mm square. And the coil that is having about 500 turns. And there is an air gap in the central limb, and the length of this air gap is 1 mm. Also, it is given that magnetizing force is 3800 for producing a flux density of 1.625 Tesla, and value of H is 850 ampere turns per meter to produce a flux density of 1.3 Tesla. Okay, so the figure is also given. So 3 points we have to notice for this type of problem. First thing is that here the dimensions of the core is not given. Instead of that, the mean length is directly given. So the values of L1, L2 and L as directly given. So there is no much trouble in substitution. Then second thing is that there is an air gap in the central limb. So we need to modify our basic equation. Then third thing is that the value of permeability is not given. Relative permeability mu r value, that is not given in this question. Instead of that, the values of B and H is given. So where in the questions where the relative permeability value is not given, we will be given with B and H values, and using that we can find the MMF. Okay, so first of all let's write the basic equation. So here we can see that the coils are wound on the central limb. So we can take the flux in the central limb as phi, and this flux will be splitting into phi 1 and phi 2. So the flux in the path AD is phi. But in length AD we can see that there are two materials. One is the core and another one is the air gap. So there will be two reluctance. Okay. Then the flux phi 1 that will be present in the path A, F, E, D, and the flux phi 2 is in the path A, B, C, D. So let's take the reluctance of the core portion of the central limb as S, the reluctance of the air gap as Sg, then the reluctance of the flux path A, F, E, D as S1, and the reluctance of the path A, B, C, D as S2. So our basic equations will come as, first of all, total flux phi is equal to phi 1 plus phi 2. Then MMF of the parallel paths will be same. That is MMF of AFED. That will be equal to MMF of ABCD. That is, we can write phi 1 S1 will be equal to phi 2 S2. Then total MMF, that is, here we can see that total MMF that will be produced in the central limb. So that will be equal to MMF of the central limb plus MMF of any one parallel limb. That is, Ni will be equal to phi into S plus Sg. Central limb, two reluctance are there. That is, total reluctance will be S plus Sg plus phi 1 S1. Or we can write Ni is equal to phi into S plus Sg plus phi 2 S2. So these are the basic equations for solving this problem. So here we can see that in order to find magnetizing current, we need phi 1 S1. That is the MMF of path AFED, or phi 2 S2, which is MMF of the path ABCD. Also we need phi S, that is the MMF of central limb alone, as well as phi into Sg, that is MMF of air gap. So here we can see that the side limbs are similar. It is having same L1, same length as well as area of cross section. So their reluctance values will be same. So before going to the problem, let's first write down the given parameters. So first of all, area of cross section of the central limb, that is A equal to 800 mm square, that is 800 into 10 raised to minus 6 meters square. Then area of the side limbs, that is A1 and A2, both are same, that is A1 equal to A2 equal to 500 mm square, that or 500 into 10 raised to minus 6 meters square. Then flux in the central limb is given, that is phi, that is equal to 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 3 Weber. Then number of turns, N equal to 500. Then air gap is given, that is 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 3 milliweber. Then also the relation between B and H. When H equals to 3800, B is equal to 1.625. And when H is equal to 850, B is equal to 1.3. From this figure we can see that flux path ABCD is equal to flux path AFED and both of them are having a length 300 mm. That means we can write L1 equal to L2 is equal to 300 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. Also, the flux path in the central limb, that is L value, is given as 120 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. So from the given parameters we can see that A1 equal to A2, L1 is equal to L2. Since the entire core is made up of mild steel, the relative permeability value must be the same. So since all the dimensions of both flux path AFED and ABCD are same, we can say that S1 will be equal to S2. That is, reluctance of path AFED will be equal to reluctance of path ABCD. So substituting in the equation Phi1 S1 equal to Phi2 S2. We see that S1 equal to S2. So S1 and S2 will get cancelled and we will be getting Phi1 equal to Phi2. So substituting this value in the equation, Phi equal to Phi1 plus Phi2, we will be getting it as Phi equal to 2 Phi1 or Phi1 which is equal to Phi2 equal to 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 3 by 2, that is 0.65 into 10 raised to minus 3 Webers. So we obtained the flux in all the limbs. So we had got that flux in central limb is 1.3 milliweber and the flux in side limbs, that is 0.65 milliwebers. So in the question, the flux density value and H values are given. So next we can find the flux density in each limb. So flux density in the central limb, that will be flux in central limb by area of cross section of central limb, that we got as 1.625 Tesla. So flux in central limb is 1.625 Tesla. In the question it is given that if the flux density is 1.625 Tesla, then value of H must be 3800. So what we can say? The magnetizing force or H in central limb is 3800 ampere turns per meter. We know that the magnetizing force, that is mmf per unit length. So if we know the magnetizing force, we can find the mmf of central limb. So mmf in the central limb, that will be the magnetizing force in the central limb into length of the central limb, that is 456 ampere turns, and this is same as the value phi s. Similarly, we can find the flux density in the side limbs. So flux density in the side limb, both the side limb are having same flux as well as same area of cross section. So flux density will also be the same, that is phi1 by A1. So we will be getting flux density B as 1.3 Tesla. So in the question it is given that if the flux density is 1.3 Tesla, then the value of H will be 850. So we can write the magnetizing force in the central limb, that is 850 ampere turns per meter. So the magnetizing force in the side limb is 850 ampere turns per meter. So the mmf in the side limb, that is phi1 s1, that is also same as phi2 s2, that will be H into L1 value, that is equal to 850 into 300 into 10 raised to minus 3, that is 255 ampere turns. So we got the MMF in central limb as well as MMF in the side limb. Next we need to find out the MMF in the air gap. So for that, first we need to find out the reluctance of the air gap Sg. So reluctance Sg is equal to Lg by mu 0 A. All the values are given in the question, that is by substituting it we will be getting it as 9.95 into 10 raised to 5. So in the above equation Ni equal to 5s plus 5sg plus 5.1s1, we know the value of 5s, we know the value of 5.1s1, we know the value of 5, and we also know the value of Sd. N is given, so the only unknown parameter is the magnetizing current I. So substituting in the equation we will be getting it as 500 I is equal to 456, that is 5s value, plus 1293.11, that is the value of 5Sg, plus 255, that is 5.1s1. So we will be getting the magnetizing current I as 4.01 amperes. So hope you are clear with these two problems explained. So while doing the numericals in parallel magnetic circuit, first of all write the 4 basic equation. If there is no air gap, then the equation of total MMF will be Ni equal to 5s plus 5.1s1 or Ni equal to 5s plus 5.2s2. But if there is an air gap, then the reluctance of the air gap must also be included. If the air gap is in the central limb, then accordingly you have to add depending upon the figure. So first of all write those 4 equations, and from there we can start doing the problems. Then next thing we have to keep in mind that always mark the flux in the limb where the coil is wound as phi, and the flux in the other path as phi1 and phi2. Then the third thing you have to check is whether the dimensions of the core is given or the mean length of the core is given, mean length of the flux path is given directly. If mean length is given directly, no problem. But if the dimensions of the core is given, we need to find the mean length of the flux path from them. So that is the end of this video lecture. Hope everyone is clear with the problems on parallel magnetic circuits. Thank you.